Imagine the world as a giant, brutal game of chess where every single person is a piece you either control or get taken by. This is the reality Nate Jacobs lives in, a reality he built not out of cruelty for its own sake, but as a fortress to survive a home that was never safe. To understand Nate is to look past the villain everyone loves to hate and see a terrified boy who decided that being the monster was safer than being the victim. His father, Cal, is the architect of this prison. In that cold, sterile basement, surrounded by trophies of his own hidden life, Cal didn't just abuse Nate, he programmed him. He taught him that love is transactional, that intimacy is a weapon, and that the rawest parts of human desire are things to be recorded, catalogued, and used for leverage. For a young boy, this isn't just a lesson in perversion, it's a survival manual for a dystopian world. The central rule Nate learned was this: to be vulnerable is to be destroyed. Therefore, you must see everything and everyone as a threat or a tool. You must master the game before it masters you. So, Nate becomes the ultimate player. His entire life is a performance of control. As the star quarterback, he controls the field, the team, the narrative of the town's hero. In his relationships, he tries to control the script. With Maddy, it's a turbulent drama of passion, possession, and violence, a twisted replay of the intensity he witnessed but without the honesty to understand it. With Cassie, he finds someone whose desperate need for love makes her easy to manipulate, a pawn who mistakes control for care. And with Jules, he sees a reflection of his father's secret obsession, and so she becomes the ultimate target of his fear and his need to dominate the very thing that could unravel him. Every interaction is a power move. The blackmail, the threats, the psychological games, these aren't just him being a bad guy. This is his artillery. He's fortifying his walls, because in his mind, any sign of weakness, any crack in the facade, will lead to total collapse. He is policing the world, trying to suppress any hint of the chaos his father introduced him to, especially the queer desire represented by Jules and the tapes, because that chaos is the ghost in his own machine. The tragedy of Nate is that his survival strategy is a self-imposed life sentence. The control he thinks is keeping him safe is actually what's starving him. He is utterly isolated, trapped behind his own eyes. He can't have a real friend because friendship requires trust. He can't have real love because love requires surrender. He is surrounded by people, by noise, by status, but he is profoundly alone in a silent, sterile cell of his own making. Every time he threatens someone, he's just adding another lock to his door. The moments where we see cracks, the panic attacks, the quiet desperation after his father's arrest, the haunting emptiness in his eyes, are glimpses of the trapped human being inside the fortress. It's the boy screaming, realizing the walls are now too thick for anyone to hear him, or for him to even get out himself. His pursuit of winning is a doomed race because he's running on a treadmill. He thinks if he can just get his father's tapes, if he can just silence Jules, if he can just have the perfect girlfriend, the perfect family image, then he'll be secure. But the enemy is within. The shame and terror his father planted in him are the roots, and he's just constantly trimming the branches, wondering why the tree keeps growing back. The ultimate proof that his worldview is a prison is what happens when he tries, in his own broken way, to break free. His relationship with Cassie, in his mind, might have felt like a step towards something normal, a white picket fence fantasy. But he brings the prison with him. He controls her, isolates her, and recreates the same dynamic of fear and submission because it's the only language he knows. Even his final act in the series, taking the blame for his mother to protect her, is a complex mix of genuine, selfless love and the ultimate act of control. He finally gets to write the ending, to be the hero on his own terms, but it costs him his freedom. He chooses a literal prison, perhaps because it's the only kind of confinement that makes sense to him, and in a way, it's a relief. The sentence is finally clear. The walls are finally visible. So, Nate Jacobs is not a mystery of evil, but a blueprint of how trauma can build a cage. He is a boy who learned, from the most formative authority in his life, that the world is a war of all against all. His cruelty, his manipulation, his violence, these are the battle tactics of a child soldier fighting a war that started in his own basement. He is a stark warning that sometimes, the survival skills that keep you alive as a kid are the very things that will destroy your chance to ever truly live as a man. His need for control was the lifeline he clung to in the storm of his childhood, but as he grew, he never learned to let go and swim. Instead, he coiled that lifeline around and around himself until he couldn't move, becoming both the prisoner and the warden of a pain he can no longer name, in a prison he can no longer see, but one he will defend with his last breath because, in the terrifying logic of his world, that prison is the only thing that has ever kept him safe.